Yeah, thank you. Professor Rajkumar is a very long, good friend of mine. We were in JNU, and today's lecture is, very scholarly lecture and very, to the point academic lecture. He dwelled into, many, different stages of evolution of the BSP as an ideology, as well as, political party. He did it. He rightly said that, philosophy, ideology, and strategy, these three, the core points he addressed. So, being a political scientist, Professor Rajkumar, dwelled into the BSP origin, its significance, importance, and future, and how what challenges it's facing right now. These are these are all well taken. I won't be commenting on his lecture. Why? Because of course, he's a scholar who worked on BSP. He did a research on a BSP, and he's being a political scientist. He's the right person to give a lecture on such a topic called BSP. So commenting on his lecture would be it's not that is not the right thing I am to be done. But being a historian, I am being a historian. If I want to look at the whole BSP from the historical perspective, I would like to just take a 2 or 3 minutes. This is not a comment on Professor Rajkumar lecture. Professor Rajkumar lecture from political perspective, it's a well taken and well understandable, well highly authentic lecture he has delivered. But from the historical perspective, the last point where he left, that's challenges of the BSP, I would like to add some more challenges to his lecture, not from the political perspective, but from the historical perspective, being a historian. So I would like to say that, BSP, Kanshiram, Manuel Kanshiram, was original political thinker of our own times, post-independent India. Post-independent India, if you would equate anyone with Plato, Aristotle, such a kind of political thinkers, we could equate the or Karl Marx. We could equate Kanshiram with his innovative new political thought. I'm not saying that his thought is like the Plato or Aristotle or Karl Marx. I would like to equate him to them, saying that he has his own unique, innovative political thought, which he introduced to the Indian political system. That is the Bahujan, which has shaped and reshaped and given the different direction to the Indian politics, which rightly Professor Rajkumar has addressed those things for past 1.5 year, 2 hours. What I would like to say that I will just say a few points only, 3-4 points. What could be the challenges BSP having from the historical perspective? Though Professor Rajkumar delivered those addressed those things from political perspective. The challenge is that the Bahujan concept. I hope that my points would be taken into account by the Professor Rajkumar in his question and answer session. He could give his final word. Why? Because I regard he is the final authority on the subject, not me. So I would like to contribute further the argument which he made, but I am leaving the final arguments to the Professor Rajkumar, since he is being the authority on the subject. So the thing is that Bahujan concept, which basically it's a political concept, to my understanding. Political unity, it aims to make a political unity of the main components, that is Dalit, Adivasi, then OBC and minorities, religious minorities. These are the 4 pillars of the Bahujan political concept. If you understand the Bahujan concept as a political philosophy, then the 4 pillars of this philosophy is that scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC, and minorities. Dalit, Adivasi, OBC, and minorities. Now, I just focus only in UP, because UP is the main center of the Bahujan politics. So without UP, there won't be any Bahujan politics. So I'll focus on only UP. If you take UP, then Adivasi is very minuscule percentage of the voters or population. Minorities, they are the side characters with guest characters in the whole story, because their aspiration is simple, that allow us to be a simply a citizen, give us equal rights, give us a freedom to live. That much only their aspirations, not more than that. So they will align with the rest of the Bahujan population. So they are the guest characters. The left of two important characters in the whole story of the Bahujan is that Dalit and OBC. Now the whole within the whole Dalit concept, within the whole Bahujan concept, the Bahujan of the Bahujan. Bahujan means majority. The Bahujan of the Bahujan is OBC, not the Dalit. Now, four pillars have, four components are made into two. The main important component, Dalit and OBC. Among them, the Bahujan of the Bahujan is a OBC, not the Dalit. So, hence, if Bahujan concept, Bahujan philosophy has to be successful in terms of political success, if Bahujan philosophy has to be executed in terms of political success, that could happen only with the support of the backward castes, because they are the Bahujan of the Bahujan. If backward castes are not in alliance with the Dalit, the Bahujan philosophy as a political philosophy never going to be successful. As long as OBC supports the Dalit, then only it would be translated into success. This Bahujan philosophy. That's what my understanding. I wish that Professor Rajkumar would like to talk about on the point which I raised. This is the one thing. The other thing is that you see throughout the Bahujan Samaj Party as a political party, if we look at the BSP, it founded in the year 1984. The first election, it came to the power not by itself, by aligning with the Samajwadi Party. The core vote bank of the Bahujan Samaj Party is a Dalit. The core vote bank of the Samajwadi Party, SP, is the OBC. Now the question is that Bahujan philosophy as a political formula to be successful, BSP has to align with the backward caste party, SP. BSP by its own unable to convince the OBCs to come under the leadership of a Dalit under the Bahujan Samaj Party. Hence, Bahujan Samaj Party under the leadership of the Dalit has to align with the Samajwadi Party, which is under the leadership of the OBC. So in 1993, Bahujan Samaj Party has to make a OBC as a chief minister, Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav. Then only SP and BSP alliance had happened. It shows that Bahujan as a philosophy, it's very, 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 it's a perfect philosophy. It has its own total strength, and no doubt history says that it has changed the direction of the politics. But when it comes to political formula, backward caste never supported the Dalit leadership, even after accepting the Bahujan philosophy. So now look at all OBC politics. Today's OBC politics are all dominant. They're all accepting directly or indirectly Bahujan philosophy, but not the Dalit leadership. That must be the reason why BSP is unable to have its own, political success or government. That's what my understanding. Why it unable to? It's not that Bahujan concept is some problem. No, Bahujan concept, Bahujan philosophy. In fact, backward castes are accepting it directly or indirectly. They are doing the Bahujan politics only, but they are not accepting the Dalit leadership. That is the main reason why BSP unable to form its own government. That is the reason 1993 BSP had to accept the Mulayam Singh Yadav to make him as a OBC chief minister. Now 1995, what happened? We know there is BSP withdrawn the support to Samajwadi Party, and Mulayam Singh Yadav became lost his government, and Mayawati became the chief minister with the support of 15% BJP. We are talking about 85-15. So that 15, that opponent, we look at a strategy. See, my argument is that Bahujan as a philosophy, not a weak. It's a very strong philosophy. But Bahujan as a political formula, it has its own limitations, which Bahujan Samaj Party history itself revealing to us. So 1995, the other side of the 15 represented by the BJP, Bahujan Samaj Party has to have alliance with the BJP to make Mayawati a Dalit chief minister. Then 1997 again BJP support. 2002 again BJP support. This is what happened whenever Mayawati became chief minister. It had aligned with the 15%. The party it aligned with the BJP that represents the 15%. It shows that Bahujan under the leadership of Dalit not accepted by the backward caste. And without the backward caste, Bahujan as a philosophy, as a political formula, not going to successful. Bahujan as a philosophy, perfect. But Bahujan as a political formula, not going to be successful because backward castes are not accepting Dalit leadership. Now 2007, then why? See, we are talking about why Mayawati talked about Sarvajan. She should have not talked about Sarvajan. As political scientist, Professor Kumar rightly said, Sarvajan as a political strategy, not as a philosophy. He's rightly said. It's a political strategy. But why Mayawati? What made Mayawati to take make it that political strategy, Sarvajan, which Kanshiram never did it. Why she made? Because backward caste not accepting the Dalit leadership, and with the 4 times only that 15% accepted Mayawati to make a, with the support of BJP, she became chief minister. That made Mayawati, she learned the lessons from the history. Then that might have made Mayawati to take this 15% support as a political strategy. So then she shifted from Bahujan to Sarvajan, not as a philosophy, to my understanding, as a political strategy. But however, in a narrative, it has dented a lot to the Bahujan philosophy house. Professor Rajkumar, please note this, what I'm talking. Sarvajan as a political formula, it worked out in 2007, and Mayawati became chief minister all alone with the support of the Sarvajan, that's the 15%, along with the Bahujan. But unless Sarvajan support Bahujan, BJP never, backward caste never accept the Dalit, because the gurus of the backward caste are Sarvajan, spiritual gurus. The Brahmin is the spiritual guru of the backward caste. So then only they voted, along with the Brahmins, they voted to Mayawati. Then she became 2077 as a permanent, all alone by the BSP formed a government. Now the question is that BSP, the highest vote bank, it got 6.56 in 2009. It won 21 parliament seats. In 2009, it won 21 parliament seats with a popular vote 6.56. So that is the highest. After that, with the Samajwadi Party, it had an alliance and 10 seats it's got. Now, without Samajwadi Party, 0. Now, the question is that Bahujan concept to become a successful political formula, the history says that without backward caste acceptance of Dalit leadership, BSP cannot form a government under the Dalit leadership. If BSP can convince the backward caste that Bahujan Samaj Party can make backward caste as a chief minister or backward caste as a prime minister, there might be some chances that Bahujan Samaj Party might form a government. Now, earlier Brahmins supported the 2007 Brahmins supported the Bahujan Samaj Party. Now they have their own party, BJP. So now they are not supporting the Bahujan Samaj Party. Hence, backward caste also not supporting the Bahujan Samaj Party. I am talking in terms of the political success. There are supporters from backward caste. That's what I am talking in terms of the political support. So what I am trying to say that if BSP want to survive as a political party, Bahujan as a philosophy, it has to convince the backward caste that they should accept the Dalit leadership also. If it is not, then Bahujan Samaj Party re-strategize it's a political formula stating that we will be making, Bahujan Samaj Party will be making some backward caste chief minister or prime minister. This is a one. Are you convinced the backward caste that Dalit leadership is a fine for the good for the backward caste? or you make a backward caste a prime minister or chief minister. That is the only way Bahujan Samaj Party will put form the government. Or you convince the Brahmins to support the Dalit leadership, then backward caste will vote the Bahujan Samaj Party. These are the things I would like to make. I hope that Professor Rajkumar would address those things in his question and answer session. This session is getting longer. No problem. We will be having very important discussion. Let it go. No problem. Thank you very much once again, Prof. It's a wonderful discussion. I never thought that you would be making such a very forceful arguments you have made in your discussion. It's wonderful. Thank you very much once again.